Dude, stop what you're doing and look around. You'll notice that about half of everything you're seeing is made of cement. That magical gray powder that becomes stone when mixed with water. But very few people know where this powder comes from. So today, we're going to see how cement is made. Let's check it out. We're going to visit the Salto Santa Helena complex of Votorantim, which is located in the countryside of Sao Paulo. One part is in the city of Salto de Pirapora, which is the one we're going to visit, and the other one is right next to it, in the city of Votorantim. Since it's a heavy industry, we have to wear a lot of protective equipment. And, in the end, we even have to take a breathalyzer test. You'll find out that making cement is kind of like baking a cake. The main ingredient, limestone, is taken from this mine. It's the rock I'm holding. The limestone is first extracted with explosives. Then, they remove some really big rocks, which will later be ground into small pieces, about 3 inches at most. And this limestone is taken up to the cement factory that we can see up there. Let's go up to the factory then. After leaving the mine, the limestone travels 2 kilometers on conveyor belts, not by truck, and is stored here to be ground. This pile has 40,000 tons of limestone. Here, their main task is to thoroughly mix the limestone. Because since it comes from a mine and not a factory, each part of the mine has a slightly different type of limestone. So, to make sure the cement always has the same quality, they need to do several analyses of the stone in the lab, and then mix this limestone very well so everything is homogeneous. These stones are stored in some giant silos, and then they're going to be mixed with iron ore and clay. The cool thing here is seeing how the factory can store hundreds of tons of these materials vertically. Then carefully weigh everything in the right amount to make cement. Here, they call this mix of 3 materials flour. It leaves the scales and goes to a mill to mix everything very well and turn it all into powder. The flour powder enters this giant tower. It's called the pre-calcination tower. And in the tower, they heat the flour up to a 1,832 degrees Fahrenheit before it enters the heart of the factory, which is the kiln. Pedro is going to tell us a bit about how the kiln works and what it's for.
This is a rotary pre-calcination kiln. It reaches 2,642 inside the kiln. The flour goes in, and during calcination it turns into clinker, which is the finished product. It's a continuous process.
The kiln is about 20 meters above the ground. It's almost 230 feet long, which is about the same as an Airbus A380, the largest passenger plane in the world. It gets so hot that the stone powder inside actually turns into liquid. It's a process that has to be so well controlled that there's a control room that monitors everything remotely, even with cameras to see how the cake recipe is going inside the oven. It's on 24 hours a day, and they only turn it off twice a year for maintenance. This is coke. Say hi to it. It's the main fuel that feeds the furnace where the limestone will be taken. It's a petroleum byproduct, and as you can see, it gets your arm pretty dirty if you touch where you shouldn't. This conveyor belt moves the coke for processing before it enters the furnace. "10% of the furnace's fuel is this: old tires being recycled. The best part is nothing remains after burning. The residue is used in cement. That means that besides having the tire running on your car, you also have tire in your wall and you didn't even know it. The kiln produces small stones called clinker. It's already pretty much cement. If you added water, it would harden, but it's not suitable for construction. Before that, it has to be mixed with 3 other ingredients. Gypsum, which is used to control the setting time of the cement. Slag, which is a reuse, a recycling of what's left over from iron ore smelting furnaces. Some raw limestone is also added to reduce the use of clinker. And then we have a more sustainable cement, because you'll use the furnace less, and the cement also becomes a bit cheaper. All of this, once again, has to be very well mixed in a mill. Depending on the amount of each ingredient, you'll get a different type of cement. At the Votorantim complex, they produce 11 cement types. One cool thing about this mill is that it doesn't need to stop to be refilled. It's constantly being supplied, and on the other side, finished cement is already coming out. That means it never stops. Production is finished. Next, the cement will be packed into 55-pound and 110-pound bags. You can see that just like in the whole factory, everything is very automatic. The cement is put inside the bag, goes onto the conveyor belt, and is organized on pallets that can hold 2 tons. The complex's production is 4,800,000 tons per year. That's enough to build about 1 Maracana stadium every 2 days. And the final product, the magic powder we use to build our houses, is right here. Shall we build a building? Watch more videos on Manual do Mundo to see how everyday things, even those you never imagined, are made. Hey, I think this video deserves a like on YouTube, doesn't it? I'll leave as a suggestion 2 other visits we made to some really cool factories. First, we visited Faber-Castell to see how pencils are made. Then, we went to the Mint to see how money is produced. Take a look.